Dear learners, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Munisha Lawat from Institute of Hotel Management, Dehradun. Today, we shall be taking module number 40, titled Chinese Cuisine, under paper Food Production, Operations and Management. The learning objectives of this module are to learn about China and its demography, to learn various Chinese equipments, to learn regional cooking styles of China. Introduction to Chinese cuisine. The Chinese have been intrigued with the art of cooking for centuries, from the proper selection of ingredients to the use of specific methods and tools. Nearly 3000 years ago, the fascination became apparent when China's first recipe were conceived. Today, it has been estimated that at least 80,000 dishes have been created. Attention to detail is an integral part of preparing a Chinese dish. The food is expected to appeal to both the eye and the palate. The colors should be aesthetically pleasing. The fragrances should arouse the senses, and the ingredients should be uniform in size. And all of these elements should be aimed towards creating balance. The approach of Chinese cuisine can be traced back to historical events as well as religious and philosophical systems that have been in place in China for centuries. The importance of cuisine in China is evident as early as the Tang dynasty, with creation of both the first known cookbooks and nutrition text. During the Song dynasty, China experienced a significant high in prosperity. The abundant economic and cultural growth resulted in spurring interest in cuisine. Chinese food writers, cooks, nutritionists, merchants, and wealthy consumers took part in creating a style of cooking and eating. In 1911, China became a republic when the dynasty system was overturned. Western influences flourished by the 1920s, bringing such delicacies as French-style custard tarts, ice creams, and European utensils and appliances. By the end of the 1970s, China strove to regain the culinary brilliance it had once experienced during the centuries of imperialistic regime. The depression of civil war and devastation never destroyed China's interest in the quality of food and its preparation. With indigenous ingredients as well as those introduced from other societies, China has enhanced its distinct cuisine. Foreign trade, war, and invasion introduced foodstuff to the Chinese palate that were traditionally unavailable. Trade during the Tang dynasty introduced items such as eggplant, spinach, pumpkin, dill, nutmeg, saffron, and peppercorns. Peaceful times experienced during the Ming and Qing dynasties influenced numerous voyages and extensive foreign trade. A variety of items were brought into China through these travels. Foreign trade brought new ingredients such as snow peas from Holland, watercress from Portugal, and tomatoes, corn, potatoes, and chilies from the New World. The principles of Chinese cuisine. The main distinctive feature of Chinese cuisine is the emphasis on the harmonious blending of color, aroma, flavor, shape, and texture, both in a single dish and in a course of dishes. Color. Each ingredient has its own natural color. Each ingredient has its own natural color. Certain items change their color after cooking. The cook should bear this in mind when selecting different ingredients for blending of colors. Is the dish to have contrasting or complementary colors? And what are the colors of other dishes that are being served at the same time? All these points should be taken into consideration when planning a menu. Aroma, again, Each ingredient has its own aroma or fragrance, some sharp, some subtle. Most fish and meat have a rather strong smell and require an agent to suppress it and to enhance its cooked aroma. The Chinese use rice, wine, and spirits in cooking for this purpose. Other much used seasonings are spring onions, ginger, garlic, and peppers. Flavor. Flavor is closely related to aroma and color, and the principle of blending complementary flavors is a fundamental one. The different ingredients must not be mixed indiscriminately, and the matching of flavors should follow a set pattern and be controlled, not casual. Some cooks love to mix contrasting flavors and unrelated textures. Others prefers the matching of similar flavors and colors. Some wish the flavor of each ingredient to be reserved. Others believe in the infusion of flavors. The blending of different flavors, known as tsoi, itself a fine art, and in this lies the central principle of harmony. Shape. The cutting of ingredients is important in achieving the proper cooking effect. Slices are matched with slices, shreds with shreds, cubes with cubes, chunks with chunks, and so on. This not merely for the sake of appearance, which is an important element of Chinese cuisine, but also because ingredients of the same size and shape require about the same amount of time in cooking. Texture. A dish may have just one or several contrasting textures, such as tenderness, crispness, crunchiness, smoothness, and softness. The textures to be avoided are sogginess, stringiness, and hardness. To achieve the corrective texture in a dish, the hallmark of the authentic Chinese cuisine, the most important points to observe here are the degree of heat and the duration of cooking, known by a Chinese term hung-shu, meaning heat and timing. The desired textures in any dish can only be achieved by the right cooking methods. The size and shape of the cut ingredient must first of all be suitable for the particular method of cooking. For instance, ingredients for quick stir frying should be cut into small thin slices, shreds, or small cubes, never large thick chunks. You will have noticed that a Chinese dish is usually made up of more than one ingredient. This is because when a single item is cooked on its own, it lacks contrast and therefore harmony. For centuries, Chinese cooks have understood the importance of the harmonious balance in blending different flavors. The principle of blending complementary or contrasting colors, flavors, and textures is based on the ancient Taoist school of philosophy known as the yin-yang principle, which practically governs all aspects of Chinese life and has been the guiding principle for all Chinese cooks. Consciously or unconsciously, every Chinese cook, from the housewife to the professional chef, works to the yin-yang principle, that is, harmonious balance and contrast in the conspicuous juxtaposition of different colors, aroma, flavors, shapes, and textures achieved by varying the ingredients, cutting techniques, seasonings, and cooking methods. Another characteristic of Chinese cuisine is the Chinese belief that all foods are also medicines. The overriding idea is that the kind of food one eats is closely relevant to one's health. This Taoist approach classifies all foods into those that possess the yin, meaning cool quality, and those that possesses the yang, or hot quality. When the yin-yang forces in the body are not balanced, illness results. To combat this disorder, it is necessary to eat foods that will redress the balance. This belief was documented in the 3rd century BC at the inception of herbal medicine, and the recognition of the link between nutrition and health. And it is still a dominant concept in Chinese culture today. The yin-yang principle can also be seen in the basic dualism of nature. Yin is feminine, dark, cool and passive. Yang in contrast is masculine, bright, hot and active. But unlike the dualism of the Western world in which good and evil are in perpetual conflict, yin and yang complement each other and forms a harmonious pair as symbolized by the interlocking figures within a perfect circle. Over the year, as the yin-yang principle developed along dualist lines, it was combined with the five-element concept of the neutralism school of thought, which held that nature is made up of varying combinations of five elements of nature: metal, wood, water, fire and earth. The parallel to the four elements of the ancient Greek, earth, fire, air and water, is striking. Regional cooking styles of China. Chinese cuisine is characterized by four distinctive cooking styles: Northern, Beijing Peking style; Southern, Cantonese style; Eastern, coastal Shanghai style; and Western, inland Sichuan style. With numerous variations of each style within each region. Situated in the eastern part of Asia, China encompasses an area larger than 3 million square miles, 8 million square kilometers, with miles of mountainous terrain. The spacious territory is home to many rivers, thousands of lakes, and a long coastline on the Pacific Ocean. China is one of the largest countries in the world with a population of more than 1 billion people. Only 10% of China land is used for cultivation purposes. At times, dramatic shifts in temperature and climate wreak havoc on its generally abundant agriculture. The ever-growing population and expanding cities threaten to inhabit even more of the already inadequate space. Raising animals such as cattle and sheep is made difficult due to insufficient pasture land. Considering that China is roughly the size of the United States, it isn't hard to imagine its diversity. Each of its regions, northern, southern, eastern, coastal and western, have different climatic and geographical characteristics, and as with any territory, changes inspire each region's culinary development and preferences. Northern China. In the north, China is relatively cold and arid, with a typically dry level of terrain. The Beijing Peking province sees frigid winter weather, leading to a growing season that is much shorter than that of other regions. Having been the site of the imperial court, the northern cuisine exemplifies creativity, ingenuity, and sophistication. The lavish and traditional three-course Peking duck, served with spring onions and hoisin sauce, is an example of the intense seasoning in a simple, delicate manner, but is also well known for its pungent, sweet and sour dishes. Typical crops include wheat, corn, soya beans, bok choy, napa cabbage, root vegetables, eggplants, persimmons, pomegranates, peaches, pears, apples, grapes, and jujube dates, chestnuts, walnuts, and peanuts are also grown in this area. These ingredients, along with garlic, green onions, and dark soya sauce, lend distinct flavor principles to the area. Wheat items such as noodles, breads, dumplings, and pancakes are common. Mongolian influences are also still apparent in the region's dishes. Specifically, the use of lamb and mutton, the commodity of barbecue, meat dishes, and fire, not specialities, one-dish meals, reminiscent of fondue. Hot pot meals include custom blended condiments for each diner and platters of meat and vegetables. Diners use chopsticks to dip the food items into simmering liquid, both oil, etc., and then place the food into their bowls, to which they can add flavoring and or condiments. Mongolian barbecue is similar, except the ingredients are grilled and placed in buns for eating. Southern China. The hills and low mountains of the southern region are scattered with a number of rivers, lakes and streams, with a small portion of the land flat enough for row cropping. The heavy rainfall and abundant sunshine in and around the Cantonese province welcomes a long growing season, including 2 rice harvests per year. The southern Cantonese style of cooking is a display of succulence with its masterly blend of different flavors. It is the most known style of Chinese cooking among Westerners. Cantonese dishes use little seasoning. They are flavored in a simple manner, featuring a minimal level of spiciness. The principal crops of this region are rice, sugarcane, mulberries and freshwater fish. A variety of exotic fruits including lychee, longan, lucats, citrus, olives, guava, bananas, papayas, pineapples and coconuts are also produced in this area. Vegetables such as snow peas, Chinese broccoli, taro, tiger lily, bamboo shoots, lotus roots, lotus seeds, water chestnuts, squash, pumpkins, mushrooms and beans are grown throughout the region. Hoisin, plum oyster and light soya sauces are typically cooking condiments along with garlic. Seafood is commonly used as well as blanched vegetables and whole suckling pigs. The Cantonese prefer quick cooking styles such as stir frying and steaming to highlight the natural flavor, color and texture of the fresh ingredients. Additional cooking techniques used in the Cantonese region are barbecuing, roasting and simmering. Foods are oftentimes undercooked to bring out the natural flavors. Dim sum and lacquered meats are popular preparations in the area. Eastern China. The mild climate of eastern coastal region results from hot, humid summers and short, moderate winters. The low flat terrain in the Shanghai province provides for productive agriculture and ample fishing. In the eastern region, along with the coast, Shanghai and its neighbor Fujian rely heavily on soya sauce, sugar and ginger for flavoring agents. Fujian is known for producing the most highly regarded soya sauce in China. Natural flavors are accentuated by keeping dishes light and delicate to emphasize the fresh ingredients. Eastern chefs prefer stir frying, steaming, red cooking and blanching. Pickling and curing are often used to preserve meat and vegetables. This land of fish and rice is abundant in freshwater and saltwater fish and seafood, specifically carp and crabs. Livestock is also commonly raised here, including chickens, ducks, pigs and cattle. The primary food crops include rice and wheat. Barley, corn, maize and sweet potatoes are the region's secondary crop. Additionally, a variety of bamboo shoots, beans, melons, gourds, squashes and leafy vegetables as well as peaches, plums and grapes are cultivated in eastern China. Western China. The western region of China sees very little rainfall, while the inland areas of this region experience monsoon conditions. Depending on the location, agriculture can be very productive with a growing season lasting nearly all year. In the western parts, the landscape mainly consists of mountainous ground or enclosed desert basins with extremely dry conditions. Like little farming is achieved. Irrigation is essential to successfully make use of the land. The western inland region of Sichuan is revered for its highly seasoned dishes. The most prominent dishes are hot and sour and are often oily, a possible influence of neighboring India and Pakistan. The area encompassing the Sichuan province raises a significant amount of poultry as well as the largest number of cattle and pigs in China. Rice, corn and sweet potatoes are produced here, along with the wheat, rapeseed, sorghum, barley, soya beans, millet, sugarcane, citrus fruits, tung nuts and tea. The area's condiments and spices are quite strong. The chili, for example, appears in several forms: roasted and salt and ground fresh in pasta and infused in oil. Onions, garlic, dried citrus peel, ginger, dried black mushrooms and fungus, as well as sesame oil and fermented broad beans past contribute to the cuisine's characteristic flavor. Beef, chicken, fish are prepared throughout the region. Although Sichuan cooking style makes use of all techniques, stir frying and steaming are most popular. Cooking techniques: red stewing, red cooking, hung-shu. This technique is unique to Chinese cooking. The process involves cooking the food, usually pork, beef, ham, chicken, duck or carp, in large quantities of soy sauce and water. It is similar to stewing. The soy sauce contributes to the rich taste and reddish brown color created by using this technique. Velveting, a process in which meat, fish or seafood is coated with cornstarch, egg whites, rice wine and salt. This is done to retain the moisture, producing a succulent dish. The coating also allows for sauce to adhere better to the finished dish. Lacquer roasting, a technique performed in the Cantonese region. The food items such as poultry, ribs, pieces of beef or backbone receive several coats of a high sugar mixture, honey, corn syrup, maltose or sugar with an oil or soy sauce. After roasting, the meat has a glossy, crispy finish with a subtle sweetness. Tools and equipments of Chinese cuisine. Tools for Chinese cuisine are fairly basic for centuries. China's cooks have invested a great deal of time and effort achieving certain results with minimum utensils. The principal implements are as follows. Wok, all-purpose cooking vessel developed by the Chinese. The wok has a round bottom with high sloping sides. It is available in a variety of sizes and is made of materials such as cast iron, rolled steel, anodized aluminum and stainless steel. Woks typically have one or two handles and are usually accompanied by a ring-shaped stand and a dome lid. The wok can be used for stir frying, smoking, steaming, deep frying, braising and poaching. Its shape makes tossing ingredients easy and offers an extensive cooking surface. Chopsticks, phai-tzi. These cooking and eating utensils were created in China and are widely used in Asia, specifically China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam and Thailand. They range in sizes and materials: bamboo, ivory, plastic or lacquered wood. Long chopsticks are used for stir frying or deep frying. Shorter varieties of chopsticks are best suited for eating and for mixing batters, sauces or marinades. Cleaver, dai do, soi do. A versatile instrument, the cleaver is used for cutting, tenderizing and flattening. The Chinese cleaver comes in several sizes: light, used in chopping vegetables and seasonings; medium, used in cutting various ingredients; and heavy, used in cutting through tough, dense items. Cleavers are available in carbon steel and stainless steel. Bamboo steamer, jing long. This type of steaming efficiently absorbs steam, creating a very hot container without condensation. The food remains free of excess moisture and cooks quickly and evenly, even when stacked high with many levels. The traditional Chinese bamboo steamer has two layers and a lid. Clay pot, sand pot made from a mixture of clay and sand. This heavy pot is used for braising, stewing and casserole cooking. It is ideal for slow cooking because it distributes heat efficiently and can withstand direct heat. It is available in a variety of shapes and sizes. Dear students, let's summarize. So we have learnt about the demography of China, demography of Chinese cuisine, and also its varied cooking styles. Chinese equipments are designed in such a way so as to help in cooking food with great ease. As the cuisine is so vast, we have learnt almost everything about the food of China. Thank you.